Okay, we're gonna do the fire for your tri-tip. So first thing you're gonna need is one of these. Do not use petrochemicals on your charcoal. You can use briquettes or you can use lump charcoal like this. Doesn't matter. You just don't need any kind of lighter fluid. It's gonna make the whole thing taste awful. This is a little fire starter right here. This is a pretty good thing to use. These are called tumbleweeds. You can get them at the hardware store. You're gonna need a little bit of wood for smoking. We'll throw that in once the fire gets going. So first thing we're gonna wanna do is load this up with some charcoal into the chimney. So this good stuff, some big chunks. And let's get some little chunks. This is whole lump charcoal from Mexico. This will either be made out of mesquite or oak. It has a really good flavor all on its own. It's pretty good without the smoking. Put the chimney in here. All right. We put the fire starter under the chimney. Light it. That's all we have to do. If you don't have a fire starter, you can use some paper towel. All right, this is nice and blistering hot now. We'll scrub off everything. Anything that's on there is scrubbed off nice and quick. And that's looking pretty good. Next phase we're gonna do, shut that and let it get some heat going more. Got our next phase here. We got a thermometer. This is going to be crucial to cooking this. We'll pull this at about 130 degrees. Tri-tips underneath some paper. A bit of parchment paper, foil, whatever you've got on hand. There we go. So we're going to lay this down on the grill, fat side up. Let's open our grill. Poke it with the fork. Lay that on the grill. Fat side up. Now we're going to open up this little segment of the grill. If your grill doesn't do this, you can just prop it open. And we're going to use some smoke wood. We'll drop that in to the side here. That should get good and smoky. Shut this. And right now we want to take these down to about half. If you've got a Weber grill, you can take those down to about half. If you're using propane, you can take the heat down to about half on the propane. If you're using propane, you can use smoke wood just like I did here. You just lay it into the propane grill. Pretty easy. Oh, little pro tip. To keep your tools clean, you can use the fire itself to keep those sanitized. So, I'll just put it in here and then shut the lid on the fork. There you go. Fork's inside the grill. That's going to get raging hot. Clean off any possibility of cross-contamination. Easy peasy. Okay, let's give it a poke with the thermometer. What we're looking for is a temperature that's about 130 on the inside. Right now our temperature's way down to like 70. So what I'm going to want to do, about 90, in parts. Okay, about 90 degrees in its thickest part. So what we're going to want to do, let's move this kind of out of direct heat. Let's give that a flip again. Got a lot of nice good searing on here. This is looking great, but we do want to shut the lid on this fire, put out those flames, trim it down a little bit more. Temp's a little too high, so I want to bring down the temperature, then let it cook a little bit longer. Internal temperature, about 130 or so. All right, let's take a look at what we got here. The grill's hanging out at like 500 degrees. I wouldn't be too concerned about temperature. Low temp is just going to take longer. High temp's going to take longer. As soon as I open that, you see how the fire starts up? That's that smoke wood I had going. Let's go on ahead and remedy that little fire we got with a little bit of water. I'm just poked a few holes in the top of this bottle. And as soon as we shut this lid, that fire will go right out and then go back to smoking. So as long as the lid is closed, let's trim those down a little bit. The wood will smolder and smoke instead of burning. If it's burning, we're going to burn the meat. But now that it's smoldering and smoking, it's just going to smoke the meat. Now that's pretty dirty smoke for a proper smoke. But this is a quick backyard kind of thing for maybe a steak, or in this case a tri-tip. We can have that smoke be pretty dirty. It's actually going to taste good by the time we're done. We're going to give it a few more minutes because we flipped it. Then we're going to give it a poke with the thermometer, see what our temperature reads at. All right, so as mentioned before, a thermometer is really going to be key to this whole process. You really want to keep that thermometer clean as this is being probed. So these are going to be indispensable. Some kind of wet wipey type thing. Those are great. They've got a scrubby side to them. You can clean stuff. You can clean your hands. You can clean your face. You can clean off that thermometer, tools, etc. Very good thing to have. Let's give it a poke and see where we're at as far as temperature. Okay. I've gone on ahead and pulled this off the grill. Go about 130 degrees internal temp at its thickest part. Here's the thing. This tri-tip is not done cooking yet. You're going to want to wrap this thing in foil or parchment paper and then cover it in towels. Wrap it nice and tight. Whatever you've got on hand, parchment paper, in my case foil, cover the whole thing in dish towels, bath towels, whatever. It's going to work fine. It's going to sit there. It's going to be hot for a long time. You can let it hang out as long as you want. This is really part of the cooking process, to let the damn thing sit. If you don't, it won't cut right. It won't taste right. Let it rest. Go do your sides while the meat rests. Take your time. It's not going to lose its temp. It's okay. Next thing, let's open up everything. We're going to let that fire come back to raging hot, burn everything out and off. We can kind of let this grill hang out here. We'll go check it later on in the evening, make sure the fire's out completely. And that's going to burn off any kind of stuff that's stuck on the grill. It's going to burn out any moisture that might be in the grill. It's just a good idea. Just go on ahead and burn through that charcoal that's in there anyway. You really don't want to recycle it. Just use some new charcoal. It's not that expensive. it's okay. Okay, here we go. Let's take it out of this little wrapper. The stuff coming off of your tri-tip is not blood. The cow has already been bled at the slaughterhouse. The stuff coming off of it is myoglobin. And, you can actually use that later if you want to make like an au jus or something. But for now, we're just going to kind of move that to the side. And now I got a cookie sheet underneath the pan, just in case any of those juices kind of run off. I don't have to have paper towels down or anything like that. Just a good pro tip. Got our good sharp carving knife. Your wife probably uses this to cut tomatoes. This is for meat, and carving works great. Let's see what we got. That is a good medium rare piece of meat right there.
Beautiful.
And this one, we want to give thin slices. So we're going to cut slices a little thinner than a pencil. Okay? A little bit thinner than a pencil. And we want those slices to be. We make a bunch of those. And the beautiful thing about tri-tip is if you have people who are picky or communists who don't eat medium rare meat, they can have the ends of this, which are going to be well done and are still pretty damn tasty. So usually when you get done with one of these, you're going to have a bunch of meat. You can have a bunch of meat left over for sandwiches, skillets, taco bowls, whatever you're into. You can have those. You can make a good hash with some eggs with leftover tri-tip too. And there we go. Down at the end, we can see those are pretty well done meat right there, but very tasty. And you give a little piece of that to your camera operator so she can test it and see how that is. And give a little bit of that to your son standing off there so they can test it. And you can see that even the medium rare bits excellent. Fantastic. That's your tri-tip.